So, student students, today we will be discussing more about your career first because some of the students have asked regarding the career prospectus for MSWs. So, I will be discussing on that. Today, Zumna and Rasmi both are the co-hosts. I request both the co-hosts to actually uh, let others to join in and sign in. And wait a while, just in a second, I am coming back. Is I audible? Is I audible to all? मेरी आवाज आ रही है, निकिता?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So today we are going to discuss how exactly those students, those who are into either the MSWs, this, either for graduation or the post graduations, they are opting for MSW, and even the our communication students, those who have opted in their PGs and UGs. What can be the career prospect for them, how they can actually work in the social development sectors. For that, actually, we will be discussing it here. Mr. Advocate Ramarao too will join me in a later stages. He's in the travel, but he is also working in this sector, so he will be joining us. He will be also guiding us or adding on some of the informations, whatever I will be saying to you all. Basically, let me give you the idea of what exactly I'm going to actually convey here. What can be the roadmap which we will be discussing on. What we are going to discuss is today here is what all those profiles on which you people can work in. What all those sectors actually these particular profiles are addressing or working in, and how many ministries or departments where this set of people or this set of actually knowledge per se or the people those who are having this particular segmentation, they are actually working in these ministries or the departments, and how some of the international departments also like UNESCO, UN, and UNICEF, where you guys can work in, and what are those requirements. Of course, if you are working in there, can it be there be as on the volunteer basis? What all those differences are if you are on the volunteer basis, or if at all you are not on the volunteer basis, non-volunteer basis, how you are actually working in for those organizations. And apart from this, how in the sector of CSR, students, those who are into MSW, those who are into MSW or who are into communication development, uh, that is as per the choice you people have opted in the UG and PG courses. Thirdly, of course, either the graduate or the postgraduate, who all can actually opt in for these particular subset or these particular practices or the sectors. So how they can work in and what are those opportunities for them. And lastly, I'm actually covering a broad map of fellowship programs, which has been done tremendously in India. Of course, this has been last, you can say, last 3 to 4 years or 5 years back. This particular practice was not there in India, but nowadays the fellowships are running great, and I'm going to share some 14 of the fellowships which are actually good enough, which are giving the income. For sure, having the notion in the country that okay, if you are an that particular fellow, so people are actually opting it out or taking it to you in their programs or in their social development sectors or in their departments or ministries. And I will be sharing the last list also. There will be a broad list of all those fellowships the paid one, also the unpaid one. So this is what we are going to actually discuss it today. Beforehand, if you guys have any apprehensions, if you guys have any of the query, please let me know or keep on posting it on the chat box. We keep on tracking it. So this is what actually today we are going to discuss. And I'm just adding one more this thing co-host here so that you all guys okay. So let us start exactly what we are going to do today. Please allow me to share the screen. And once Advocate Ramarauji is joining, if you guys see on the board, just allow him to join in us today's meet. Okay. So can you guys see my screen here? Is it visible to you all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what today we are going to actually discuss on. Okay. So this is the presentation, or this is the text which I have prepared for you guys. What are all those career opportunities once we are working in social development sectors? And primarily, I'm starting with the positions where, because on which all the positions where students are working in, or the professionals, those who are working in social development sectors, they are working in. Primarily, of course, beforehand, you can say last 10 years back or so, uh, people are mostly working towards the NGO management. Or, of course, the deliverables of certain projects were going on. And as per the project needs, people were working in the social development sectors. But nowadays, this has been refined. The need of the NGOs are also been refined. Certain new amendments are also there for the CSR, certain new amendments for the corporates, certain new amendments are also there with this thing, what you call social enterprises. So, because these set of organizations are now coming in and working for the social development sectors, so the positions also actually get multiplied by different functionaries, different, of course, positions. So, likewise, otherwise, the people, those who are working for the NGOs, they keep on working for NGO. But nowadays, once the legislation is there for CSR, when the legislation is there for the corporate, when the legislation is there for social enterprises, so people, those who have done this MSW, they are working as an administrator, or they are working as a research fellow, or they are working for a research coordinator. They are even working as a policy maker and planning for the implementation of the projects, whatever the projects are coming in, either the government or the CSR. They are working for these two things, and they are making the policies how to actually implement those things. And likewise, the clinical counselors are there. More and more people, those who are into MSWs, they are learning the skill of clinical counselor, either being at the site or, of course, off the site. They are working for this. And not least, of course, these MSW students, they are also opting it out as a teaching job for other, they are teaching it professionals, those who are working for social development sectors, and of course the UG students too, UG, PG both. Even nowadays, people are opting it out as the MSW sector or the social development sector in their PhDs too. So because of primarily the subset has been changed. People are coming in for policy making, people are coming and working under the research. So many organizations, so many NGOs are now working for taking up several research, either clinical research or non-clinical research, but they are working for it. Like we too did the one of the research last year during COVID-19, and because of that, we are able to actually publish one of the book too. So likewise, even due to this particular class or this particular internship, we will be able to work on this particular proceedings of the this thing internship, and we will be able to actually publish the book also, because you guys will be working on those research work, whatever the subject have been given to you or the topics have been given to you. That is what actually is the positions which I am referring for, or MSW people are actually opting for or they are going for. Next comes to which all the sectors they are working on. Although MSW, it means, of course, master in social work, but what all those organizations or what all those sectors they are working. Primarily, in an earlier days, people used to say, okay, MSW students, they will be working on more or less only in the health sector. But it's not such actually. Whenever we are talking about the MSW, whenever we are talking about social development sector, it's not only that health is only the primarily thing. People are working once you are an MSW or you are a communication extension student. So you guys are actually probably working on rural and urban poverty allegations, what are those child abuses and what are the forms and formats by which you can actually address those issues. Then violence against women, violence against people, violence against children. It's covering all. The AIDS control, of course, this was the AIDS control and the health control, health and hygiene was earlier also the topic of the MSW students, those who are working for. Then comes the homelessness. Sure, we keep on seeing in our cities and in our urban areas how this has been actually a major setback for urbanization. That is homelessness. Those who are actually coming out of their own state, their own rural areas, and they are feeling this particular subset of problem. Then the mental health, you might have seen during the COVID, it's been highly been now targeted, and all the ministries and departments are looking out for the professionals, those who can come in and counsel for as a medical counselor or mental counselor. Then we have a variance in the cultures across states, across district, across blocks. So people can work on the sectors of intercultural, keeping the cultural harmony, or even sharing the cultural diversities and making fun it. The things keeps on going on with the fun and the learning. Likewise, students are working for rehabilitation centers, even for illiteracy. Uh, People are coming and working in for. But more and more, we are actually targeting. But more and more, we are actually targeting our MSW students or the communication extension students, because they have been taught about this for these 2 years or these 3 years. So they are into actually their education background is aligning for this particular success. And that is why children are coming for Teach for India program and all. This we will actually discuss on later on. But of course, because of this particular knowledge per se or the education background, we are actually targeting more and more towards the MSW. That is how the health and hygiene and of course the environment. Highly been talked during COP26 also, during Paris Agreement also, during, those discussions are coming in and going on. But students, those who are working for MSW, students, those who are working as in communication extension, they are primarily working for these sectors. So positions I have covered what all those positions can be there. These are the sectors where briefly these are the some of the sectors. Of course, there are some additions on this. There are certain more, of course, positions and additions once we are discussing on the sectors. Now comes if these are the positions and these are the sectors, which all the ministries actually you should go through or you should actually visit their website or at least subscribe these websites to your mail IDs. Because once you come to know about, okay, I am into the MSW or I am into the social development sector, a professional, or I wish to actually work in, it's not only that MSW or the communication students, any of the graduate or the postgraduate, those who are actually looking out for uh, working towards the social development sector, they must subscribe some of the ministries' website, or they must at least go once in a month or twice in a month these ministries, visit their websites, what are those updates coming. So starting from social service department, social service ministry, it's an entirely different ministry for each of the state. And one thing is there, whatever the ministries are there, the subset and the structure in India is we are following ministries coming under the union government, and then ministries and departments coming under the state government. So you need to follow the union government ministry also, and you need to follow the state government ministry also. So opportunities and updates and circulations, all those geos, you will be finding in both the places. But you need to go more and more towards either the state ministry department or the website or the government of India website. But these are some of the subsets, some of the clusters where you need to work in or where you need to go for. The social service department and the ministry, then WCD, Women and Child Care Development Ministry, likewise Panchayati Raj Ministry, Jal Shakti Ministry, Cultural Ministry, Judiciary Ministry. Judiciary, of course, judiciary is entirely different. There will not be a ministry in this, but every High Court and Supreme Court is nowadays on the e-platform, and they keep on posting their updates, and they keep on posting their geos in this. What all those things are coming in, for that actually they keep on posting in. Even the fellowship programs, even the coming internship program, or likewise any of the schemes which is going to be rolled out. So these are the things which you need to actually go in and check in for your career enhancement to develop. One ministry I need to mention here, which is not in the list, is youth ministry. Youth and sports ministry, either it is working with WCD ministry or it is an entirely different ministry also. In some of the states, the minister will be the same. The WCD minister and the youth minister will be the same. In other states or otherwise, the ministries and the departments are entirely different. That is, the women and child care is different, and youth, of course, and culture is different. This totally depends upon how the state governments are actually focusing. Either they are clubbing the WCD minister with the youth, or they are clubbing the youth uh, separately with separate minister or likewise. So it is always like such. And the universities and colleges in which you people are, because once time to time, university to get the notification in regard to the career enhancement and the career progressions for the students. So all those universities and colleges, they do get the notifications which is coming across, which is coming from across the globe or across the world. So this is how you need to work in and you need to go for. Now comes the top international bodies, those who are working towards social development are, you all guys knows, United Nations is working for this. But when United Nations have some of the umbrellas too, those who are, which organizations are working towards those. And these two broad umbrellas are UNESCO and UNICEF. Uh, Need not to mention and give you the brief about how the UN is working, what the UNESCO is working, what the UNICEF is working for. Because I think all the graduates and postgraduates might be knowing about all these things. How UN is working, what all those umbrellas under UN actually the things are coming, what UNESCO is working for and what UNICEF is working for, where is their headquarters, what all. But you need to go and looking for the opportunities which are coming in from UN and UNESCO and UNICEF. All these three bodies of international bodies actually having a headquarter and the you can say local headquarters in states too. And nowadays the opportunities which are coming in, they are in multiple mode. That is, they are in multiple mode. I mean to say that is, it is in this thing, work from home mode also, and even the local, the offsite visit also in your local areas. So you need to go in and check in actually how exactly these opportunities are. So once I'm saying that you need to go in for UN or UNESCO, UNICEF, what are all those things and where are we can actually go in to check it. See, visiting a UN or UNESCO or UNICEF is of course a different of course subset where you will be getting or you will be knowing more about the working of these organizations, UN, UNESCO, UNICEF. But once I'm talking about the opportunities or the career enhancement or the whatever the career opportunities been done there or that is been posted by them. For UN, you need to go with this particular subset, this particular link. I will be sharing it in the WhatsApp group also. This particular link, you might be knowing about this. So every time you need to go through this or at least subscribe to this career.un.org. If you will be subscribing to this, you keep on actually getting the notification in India what all those opportunities are coming in. This is entirely for India, of course, this particular link. And the same link which I'm sharing it, it is on the volunteer program. This is as per the age and as per the specifications. But once I'm talking about UN volunteer program, it is irrespective of the age, of course. Earlier, there was certain programs which were not paid. But nowadays, in UN opportunities also, all the programs are being paid. They are covering either the I'm actually getting disturbed by someone who is. Please switch off your mic. Someone is. I request all to mute yourself, please. Okay, so these two places or these two websites or links where you can actually work in. One is career.un.org and otherwise is opportunitiescorners.info. That is for UN volunteers. And here for UN volunteers, all can actually opt in as per the professions, as per your requirements, as per their requirement. If it's get aligned, you guys can actually work in and you guys can actually get the projects to work in. I need to see who is actually. Sophia, please mute yourself. I'm getting disturbed by you. Okay, so moving on to next. What is still left out is, okay, what I was sharing is, can you see it? Is my screen is visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now coming to CSR, how exactly the CSR is? You might be knowing about this jargon about CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. Since 2015, India is working this as an law, and wherein each of the corporates, if it is coming under the corporate framework, that is corporate CSR framework, the different framework is there. And if they are capable and found eligible to actually spend 2% of their income, profit of income, they need to work on towards the social development sectors. And they are working for various social development activities and social development projects, which are actually targeting those sectors, either those sectors or otherwise also, as per the Schedule 7, which we keep on discussing more and more whenever we are discussing about the CSR. So there are our professionals, those who are into MSW, those who are into communication development, they actually can come in and they are more resourceful for what these three activities. Whenever the project planning is to be done, how to plan at meta level, at ground level, what are all those challenges and how to execute those particular projects. For those also activities, our MSW people and MSW students are working either on the internship basis or on the paid basis or even the project basis. But MSW students are working on that and even the project deliveries. So it's not only that you guys can work in on these project planning, project execution, project deliverance. This can be done in three ways: either in the during the internship time, or on the paid basis during the project execution, and or the being the part of that particular project or the team. So that is how MSW students are working for these three things. Now I am coming to a various this thing. fellowship programs. But what exactly this fellowship program, if you guys can actually share to me, or if you have guys have any of the idea, please write it on the chat box. You guys can write it on the chat box what exactly this fellowship program is. If anyone is having any of the idea, then I will share it to you. I request others to please mute yourself. Okay. Since I didn't get any of the responses here, what exactly the fellowship program is, let me give you the idea exactly what fellowship culture is actually. This is a very good culture to learn and earn and of course impact the lives. See what usually organizations, CSR organizations, corporates, NGOs, even the government ministries and departments, what they have initiated is in the form of fellowship, they are inviting students to actually work in the projects. And these students can be the part of the project, and these students can be the part of as an internship only. But that will be the paid one. And more or less, if the paid one activities are going on from the fellows as in fellowship culture, so usually these fellowships are broadly coming under the three categories. That is, Chief Minister Fellowship is working towards Chief Minister Office. That is, State Chief Minister Office is working towards the fellowship programs. Secondly, the District Administration Office or the DM Office, they are also working towards the fellowship program. And then the state fellowship programs, which is either through the MPs or the MLAs, or even in some forms or some states, even the MLCs also are actually funding these state fellowship programs. So the broad criteria for actually going towards the fellowship program coming through the government offices only, that is CM office, DM office, and state fellowship. A fourth sector where fellowship is working towards, or the fellowship is being done, that is through the NGOs or social enterprise. But more or less, whenever we are talking about the CM office working towards fellowship or DM office or state fellowship, their students or the team members need not to pay anything, even they are getting the payment or stipend over there. Okay. So it totally depends upon. But once you are working towards, or once you are working in the fellowship program, or once you are the part of the fellowship program, uh, by NGOs or social enterprises, there can be the chances that you need to pay actually to learn on those things. Learn, of course, not earning will be there, but learning will be there, and impacting lives will be there, and this will get on or add on to your profile, that is your CV. So that is what the advantage you are getting. Now I am starting from the fellowship programs. What all the fellowship programs are there in India? Starting from Gandhi Fellowship Program, which your Dr. Parvati do have done actually. Um, during the fellowship program of Gandhi Fellowship, it's been done in Gujarat, Surat, in and around that particular area. Students are going there. They're getting a stipend of 14,000 per month. It's not a fresh one. This statistic is, I think, as per the 2019, even not the 2020 updated stipend is written here. It's they were getting stipend of 14,000 rupees in a month, and what they are doing is one of the most common 2-year professional leadership program, focusing on building leadership qualities. The candidates should be 18 to 26 years of age, irrespective of the stream, whatever they have read or whatever their past qualification is. He should be a responsible citizen keen to work on the problems of the nation. A fellowship is based on the principles of Mahatma Gandhi, one of them, be the change you wish to see in the world. It is built around activities like leadership activities, monthly workshops. There are several boot camps. A Kaun Banega Crorepati type of prototype exercises going on there. Students are doing. And they also pay allowances for phone, housing, and transport, apart from this stipend. And one good exercise whenever you do this Gandhi Fellowship program is There is one what you call morning prayer is going whenever this Gandhi Fellowship is actually working. This is a different subset or different design actually where each and every students are preparing for different kind of activities and cultural activities. So this is one good fellowship program which most of the students are actually thinking for to go in, because it's not only. And one more thing I need to add here: post Gandhi fellowship program, they are actually consuming each of them. They are trying to consume each of the fellowships. Those students actually to be in their ongoing projects. And during the projects, they are working either in the blocks or they are working either in the districts as a block coordinator or school coordinator or district coordinator for various sectors. And at least they are getting minimum to minimum, they are getting somewhere 40,000 to 50,000 of salary. So because of this only uh, advantages or the support given by Gandhi Fellowship, students are opting for this Gandhi Fellowship program. It's not only that stipend which they are getting it previously in hand. Post these fellowship programs, they have been consumed by that particular organizations. Next comes to Teach for India. I had been the part of this Teach for India since you can say 2008. I was one of the executive team in Bangalore for Teach for India. I worked there for 3 years, of course, but not on the board, of course. I keep on working for my corporate. So, but I was helping this Teach for India for the execution plan once I was there in the Bangalore. So there we keep on working towards this Teach for India program. That is, students are getting somewhere 20,000 or so the monthly stipend. What we were doing is, of course, whatever is written here, you can actually go in. It's been done at various locations like Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad and Pune, mostly in the southern parts of India. Nowadays, they are targeting towards northern part of India also, and so many other states and cities they are targeting for. What we were doing, let me give you the idea. What we were actually doing once we were doing for a Teach for India. There are certain pockets in urban area where students, you will find so many students, those who are not at all going to schools. What we keep on doing is, we were asking their parents to register the students with us. And our fellows, these fellows, somewhere 30 to 35 fellows, interested fellows, we keep on going as per our schedules. Some were saying that we will be comfortable from Monday to Tuesday. Other ones saying is okay, I am comfortable from Wednesday to Friday. Other one is saying okay, I am comfortable from Saturday to Sunday. What we are doing is, one of the team head, they are framing it out the schedules for the complete month as per the school curriculum. Suppose we are teaching students for class 5th. What we are doing is, we are taking the curriculum for the class 5th standard, asking students, the urban slum area students, to register with us without any payment. And we register them, and we register them not only in our platform, we register them with our school programs too. So that is why this was getting a mileage, because students get registered to the school. And although they were not going to school, our fellows were going to their places, and we keep on actually teaching them. And the initiation, which started for, of course, as a volunteer basis by the people, those who are looking forward to support the people or to support those slum area kids. It's been now called as an India Fellowship Program. So a very great one, of course, towards to teaching towards students, teaching towards slum area people. That is what Teach for India program is. Then comes the India Fellowship programs. India Fellowship programs, it is working towards so many areas and so many cities, and it is actually more and more focused toward the social issues of the rural areas. If you go towards the India Fellowship program, you will be getting somewhere around 15,000 to 20,000 rupees of stipend. And secondly, This fellowship program is of only for 1.5 years, that is 18 months fellowship program. But you will get a good idea about the social sector. You will get the good idea about the social issues that is specifically for rural areas. Then comes those students, those who are BTech, MTech, and MSc. Uh, they can actually work in for the Prime Minister Research Fellowship Program. Of course, the limit or of course the requirement of this particular program, that is Prime Minister Research Fellowship Program, is higher, but they are getting higher payment payout also out of this, that is 70,000 per month. It's totally a research-based, of course, program where various institutions are working. IIT and I am the part of this Prime Minister Research Fellowship programs, and students are working 2 months to one of the IIT, then to shifting another 2 months to another of the IIT, and next 3 months to other IIMs. Likewise, this fellowship is actually working towards, and the minimum scoring as per the CGPA, those who are actually looking forward for Prime Minister Research Fellowship, they must get at least 8 CGPA. So this is somewhere higher actually. Now comes to you might be knowing about American Indian Fellowship Program. Of course, this particular program, this is not been called as American Indian Fellowship Program. If you go and search it out, you will find it as William C. J. Clinton Fellowship Program. It's been based on skill set for 10-month fellowship program and 2 months, of course, on the preparation of that. And it's a good program where students are getting somewhere 40 to 50K in a month for this fellowship program. And all those who are coming under the age of 21 to 35, they can opt for this particular program. It's not only that they are getting the paid allowances, they are getting the monthly living also, travel and insurance allowances in these particular programs. So coming to a very good, and of course, more and more people should opt for this or look around for this is State Bank of India Youth Program, that is SBI Fellowship Program. Totally a rural immersion program where students are working towards rural India. They have their, of course, project in detail. They will be guiding you how to go for it and what to work on for those things. And students, those who are going for this particular fellowship program, they're getting a stipend of somewhere 50,000 or so. It's not only that 50,000 stipend, they are getting other allowances are also been actually taken care by SBI for this particular program. SBI are doing so many rural immersion programs. This is where they are actually targeting various sectors, either in the health or in the education or in the environment. So these all those sectors where these SBI fellowship programs are working in, and you guys can actually opt in. Then comes, you might be knowing in the earlier discussion, I was giving you a brief idea about how this fellowship program started actually in hand. It started by some of the CM offices only beforehand. Chief Minister Fellowship Program, it's this program is from, of course, Maharashtra government, that is Chief Minister of Maharashtra is running this particular program where students are getting 40,000 monthly stipend for this. And it is always, they are always focusing towards the public administration or the urban development or of course the development sector, social development areas. Well, only one thing is there, they are actually looking on for the eligibility for this. This is an 11-month program and they are looking for the proficiency in Marathi also. But I need to add here, it's not only that Chief Minister Fellowship Program is running by Maharashtra government only. Now, CM Fellowship Program is run by Haryana, that is called as CMGGA. CM program is being run by Chhattisgarh with a different name. And CM program, that is CM Minister Fellowship Program, is being run by Telangana and Hyderabad, both the governments with different names. And more or less, in all the places, you will be getting the same stipend, somewhere 40 to 50K. But one thing is there, once you are working for CM Fellowship Program, you will get a good understanding about how exactly the administration down the line CM office, down the line district magistrate office, down the line administration office exactly are working. And I must say that students should actually work or look in around for CM fellowship programs in any of the state, irrespective of the state, you can opt for and you can work for. So then comes New India Foundation program. And I have, of course, they are actually targeting the scholars, those who are good in writing, those who are good in writing skills, those who are good in writing about Indian history, the independence struggle, and they are paying lump sum, of course, a good handsome amount is being paid to all those shortlisted students. They are not looking around for your education qualification, that is either you are BTech or MTech or you are BA or MBA. But they are looking more about your writing skill, and they are giving somewhere around 18 lakhs per annum the stipend to you all. So that is how this New India Foundation is working. Then comes, which I was discussing in, that is each of them MP, that is member of parliament, and each of the legislative assembly, that is MLA, they also can roll out these fellowship programs, okay, with their fund. You might be knowing up to now that MP and MLA might are getting the some of the fund from government of India to work toward the social development and to work toward the development of their constituency. And out of that particular fund, they can actually utilize some of the fund towards these fellowship programs. And once this fellowship programs is been rolled out, this is called as a LAMP, actually fellowship program. That is Legislative Assistant to Member of Parliament Fellowship Program. Likewise, this is for MLA also. Likewise, this is for MLC also, and they can use it not only to actually guide the students, of course, for the development of their area, that is urban area or rural area, or the semi-urban cities, and likewise. Then comes Azim Premji Foundation. It's been social enterprise where you, Azim, in once you are into Azim Premji Foundation, it's not only that foundation you are working for. Uh, the philanthropy, how exactly the philanthropy is, what is the philanthropy is, and what all those things and activities comes under the philanthropy, what all those um, focus areas of Azim Premji Foundation, how they are actually focusing towards the children, how they are focusing towards the upliftment or the life standard of those poor people. One can actually work in there, and even with working with Azim Premji Foundation and in fellowship, you will be getting somewhere 32,000 rupees also, and of course the campus in which you will be staying. Then comes UGC NET Junior Research Fellow. It's of course because this particular program is only for the research purpose, that is for PhD and MPhil for 2 years. But I'm not discussing more here because you guys are into either MSW or PG level. But post that, of course, you can look on for UGC NET Junior Research Fellowship Program, where you will be getting somewhere from 25,000 rupees or so. Last comes, not the last, of course, high-end held this Triple H scheme. Of course, it's running in Bangalore. This fellowship lasts for only 8 months. Of course, a very short duration fellowship program. They are asking all the graduates to come in the range of 80 to 30 and work towards the transformation of the rural India or the underprivileged children. So you can actually opt for this. And Tata Innovation Fellowship, it's been rolled out in each of the state. But this Tata Innovation Fellowship is totally focused towards the biology, biotechnology, and biotechnology solutions. They are addressing towards the masters, they are addressing towards the PhD programs. So that is why I'm not taking actually, I'm not discussing it here. But I did a star mark here because post this, or you can actually share it to your friends too, those who are in this particular, specifically this particular background, that is for biotechnology and biology. Then lastly, it comes the unpaid, one of the unpaid, of course, program is there, uh, where students will be paying actually. This is what actually I was discussing. Some of the organizations, they are coming out coming it out with the fellowship program where students need to pay to them as in fees, and for utilization of the premises or the area or the ambience or the infrastructure and even the mentors, you students need to pay somewhere. It ranges from 1,70,000 to 2 lakh rupees or so, and students are paying for this. That is Young India Fellowship Program, and for that you can actually think for, because they are looking towards the liberal studies for problem solving, for interdisciplinary approach. You all guys can work in towards that particular thing. I must say here, I preferably actually had mentioned whatever the star mark fellowship is, it is for different stream, but most in demand program, these programs. And I'm just going to close this presentation. I must say here that students must actually think or prefer for CM fellowship or DM fellowship programs, SBI Youth Fellowship Program, CMGGA Haryana Program, and Swadesh India Foundation Program, Fellowship Program. Because once you are working either the CM GGA or CM Fellowship Program or DM Fellowship Program or SBI or even the Swadesh India Foundation Program, where they are actually targeting 8 of the blocks, and they are promising that they keep on hand-holding the rural area for long, as soon as the sustainable development is coming for each of the 9 goals which they have targeted. So this is what the fellowship programs, and this is how you guys can actually obtain as an MSW student or the communication development students post your qualification, that is PG or UG, and you can actually think for your as an career enhancement or development. This is the more, of course, fellowship programs are there in this particular list, but some of the programs which I have listed there is in that particular list. I found some are them are the paid one. That is why I am not actually going to discuss it here. Now I can see Ramaroji have joined us. Actually, Ramaroji, are you there? Hello. Can I see Ramaroji here on the board? Yeah. Ramaroji, can you switch on your mic at least and guide our students? Welcome to our meet, and thanks for accepting my request. Advocate Ramaroji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Thanks for accepting my request. Can you guide our students for the same?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just 1 minute, sir. I'm just getting into the house.
Students, if you have any of the suggestions or if you have any of the queries, please write it on the chat box. How you find today's session or what all you are looking for? क्या आपको और चाहिए? ये सेशन भी मैंने इसीलिए किया because Nikita called me, sir. हमें ये नहीं पता है कि हम MSW कर तो रहे हैं, लेकिन MSW के बाद क्या करें? This was her actually discussion which and because of that actually we took this particular day to discuss on what all the career enhancement which you guys can actually go in for. So किसी के पास और सवाल? Although जब हम अब चाहेंगे तो अलग से भी ओरिएंटेशन की जा सकती है. ओरिएंटेशंस के टाइम पे भी हम यूजुअली करते हैं. Whenever we do orientation for our students for any of the batch, if they have these queries that what can be the career enhancement or career development by doing MSW or communication extension programs, so we keep on doing. That is why I said, okay, Nikita, we will be doing this, but not that particular width, and that is why we did it. Thank you, Devika. Thanks for this. Now, Ramaroji, please guide our students for this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Namaste.
As an MSW.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Namaste to everybody. Namaste, sir. And Happy New Year to all of you. And hope this year will be very fruitful and almost, I should say, virus-free Rather, we should become more resistant to virus now. Now that is, and with a more positive note. Nice beginning, sir. I was listening to your talk while driving, and wonderful inputs you have given, sir. Extraordinary. In fact, I feel I should take up one of this what you call fellowship programs, which I really didn't know. There were so many scopes, and I will sit with you again and see whether I am eligible for one of them, a senior person. Right. Anyway, so students, I think all of you are MSW, to be frank.
Yes, maximum are
Yeah.
MSW or communication extension students.
Okay. So now, yeah, in brief, I am an advocate, and I am very closely associated with sir in various programs and all. We are in fact planning interstate programs. Basically, I'm in Goa now. So students, I would tell you there is extraordinary scope for MSW. Rather, anybody who is interested in social sector. That is the best word I can say. And it is so simple. You are the bridge point between extreme profit-making organization and the balancing point of socio-economic requirement. So probably you are the doctors to understand the pulse of equivalency in distribution of wealth. That is what I would say. This is I'm talking on unprepared note. It is like a volcano of notions within ourselves. We have seen tough times. So I think we need super specialist doctors who can understand the socio-economic conditions. Organizations invariably make profit, but the balancing point is, you have to run the economy where there are imbalances, and there comes your big role, MSW. MSW people are the doctors of the socio-economic conditions. So students, you are very close to life. So what I would say is, by virtue of taking up MSW itself, you should be ready with all the types of balancing problems. Wealth, opportunity, there is a lot of inequalities. So this is where your knowledge will play a role. And at microscopic level, that is more. Mega planning, we have already done plenty of mega planning. But when we see percolation to the last beneficiary, it has never happened. So I would say MSW people have a big role to play. I'm telling you are the balancing point, and you can really understand the pulse. Okay. And see, that is the dynamics. There are bound to be imbalances in the society when you have a democratic setup and profit making becomes vital part. So somebody snatches away from somebody. That is the very hard meaning of capitalism. Socialism implementation in the capitalistic format would be your role. Probably you have to have lot many deliberations to understand how this can be set right. Now, for example, if I take MSME is constituting 65 to 70% of the total economy. There also profit sharing can be done to balance the localized economy. So MSW people, I think you should be sitting with plenty of projects from various angles, right? From low poverty elevation, low cost housing, enhancing purchasing power. That means more employment opportunity, generating features localized. You are the best person to tell what is more required in your area. Okay, so that way you have huge opportunities, splendid. But only thing you have to be very active. See, initially it may not be very remunerative, but by the virtue of narration of sir, scholarship and various programs, mentorship and fellowship programs, those things are the beginning of a long term. I would say serious professionalism. For that, I will give a best example. You have doctors for cold, cough, fever. They are doing flourishingly well. And you have corporate doctors who come well dressed, very aristocratic, and they are in the largest corporate sector. They too make money. So that way is the social sector. And now I will tell you in in a running tone, the enhancement of social sector is now you will be having an exclusive stock exchange. So I would suggest sir, also Pradeep sir, to have an exclusive elaborate session with MSW people, because you are the people who are going to implement. Okay, and that is going to be a very big sector. In fact, I have been sending some clips to sir. The thousands of non-governmental organizations getting into deep trouble pertaining to compliance is really a sad part of the story, because so many beneficiaries will lose amount. So somewhere there has to be a compliance part. So you should also be well aware about the technicalities of compliances. So, sir, we will have a very serious workshop type of setup, sir. Maybe one full day wherein we'll train these people. And I will tell you, all the participants, don't leave, sir. He is a keg of knowledge and extraordinary potential. Only thing, we need to have a very strong like-minded group so that we can take up this opportunity pan-India basis. That is what I say. Don't leave Pradeep, sir. In fact, I don't leave him. Every day, some or the other day, I keep on pushing some note to him so that, we conceptualize into a really productive thing. And I'm talking about a real professional setup. It is not mere, taking into account your earning capabilities exponentially. Gradually, you start earning well, and taking into consideration the welfare schemes also of the social workers. The way we have health workers, the same way social workers. Maybe you have an elaborate role, very elaborate role. And this itself can be a very good, very fruitful career. I will tell you very frankly, it will be a very fruitful career. Only thing, you have to be trained how to corporatize, how to professionalize this social sector. That is very, 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 very important. Social service should not be, see, गरीबों को दान देने में ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि उसमें रुबाब होना चाहिए. सोसाइटी उसको ठिकाने पे लाना, हमको और रुबाब रहना चाहिए. लेकिन उसके फोटोज वगैरह खींच के डालने में गलत है. मजबूरी वो चीज है, बहुत अजीब ढंग का है. सबसे गरीबी, तो उधर गरीबी घटाने के लिए दान देने से नहीं होता है, मौका देना चाहिए, कमाने के लिए तरीका बनाना चाहिए. वो वहां से हम शुरू करते हैं, क्योंकि इवन वर्स्ट ऑफ द वर्स्ट डिसीजेस can be balanced with amount. So ultimately, it is a purchasing power that is more required in society. And that is how you start levelizing the economic imbalances. एक बार purchasing power आदमी में आ गया ना, so then definitely pursuit for excellence, good living, and other thing in it's a cycle by itself. When you earn well, you spend it for the basic requirement. So that is where we go in. And I would say investment is one sector where they can also be involved. We need not go by the rule book of CSR. Anybody who feels like donating should do it in a patronized way. And second, developing rural areas is important, because whenever we hear about clippings pertaining to industrial development, we suddenly take, agriculture develop हो गया, industry develop हो रहा है. हकीकत में agriculture सही भी develop हो रहा है, sustain हो रहा है, ये बहुत अजीब बात है. It is a confusing point. Though more than 60% employment is generated in rural areas. So what I would tell MSW students is, you can start adopting villages. We are there, sir is there, and we have a huge team of professionals. We can conceptualize some model. We can share it, realistic model, where there will be genuine funding, because you are the qualified people on it. It is something like that. You go to a qualified doctor to seek medical redressal, and doctors are of various types: Ayurvedic, Unani, homeopathy, naturopathy. So on the similar scale, MSW people, you should also specialize in some areas. For primarily, I would say take up rural areas. How you can develop the economic situation, and you have seen the turmoil, right, from virus to natural calamities. So every disaster that takes place, how to recope. That is what life is, And here we should develop some very realistic projects, and these projectors definitely will get funding. And I always give this example, sometimes it is very costly for the government to involve in welfare schemes, because to depart 1 rupee welfare, they have to spend around 5 to 6 rupees. That is the administrative cost. Whereas a non-governmental organization or a social sector organization, can almost spend 4 to 5 rupees by minimizing the overhead expenditure, maybe 2 rupees. Whereas government has to spend 5-6 rupees, because that is how the administrative cost comes. Here we come into picture and resolve the problems. And maybe that is the best format of saying about economics. So two things I would say: MSME sector involving social sector. Even a small petty shop owner also can donate some biscuits or few rupees there, and we start teaching them what donation and welfare measures, localize this. Second is, rural development. Rural development, that is how we do reverse. What I intend to tell is, we should never have this influx of rural population running into urban and creating havoc there. So it is a gradual change. Probably when opportunities, self-sustenance are created in villages, then probably nobody will go to urban areas and suffer there. They hardly make anything, it is so simple. We all know pretty well, how much amount you have to make to buy a house. My God, your whole lifetime savings go. But the same thing, you can buy 5 houses in a rural area and live more peacefully. So what I would do what I would suggest all of you in the next session is, we should have a workshop wherein, say, sir, me and other things will share our real experience and postulate some projects and see how you can fine tune it and localize it. Okay. And definitely, I would suggest, we all should work together, and maybe we can derive huge funds and take up big assignments, in fact. And our assignments are of 2-3 types, short term, medium term, and long term. Just like the way the loans are, we should always target for a long term development. There is another example which I would say, whether we want climate change or weather change. Climate change and weather change, there is drastic difference between the two. There is huge difference between the two. So I would always say we should have statesmanship type of attitude, long term. That is how balances take place. Though we are not very late for it, in fact, that seriousness should be there. And I would again tell, don't be depressed that this sector doesn't pay you well. It definitely pays you well. And I'll tell you, there are huge number of projects which are long sustaining. In fact, socialism in the format of capitalism will work out. Cooperative methods are very good. In fact, we have a capitalistic format of cooperative methods, where all the cows are taken over by unit and you run a dairy farm. Actually, the dairy doesn't have a cow. So on that scale, I would like to tell you, wherein all pool resources and do it. So one thing that I would just push one idea is producer company. Me and sir will, and along with other professionals, sit along and create some fine projects and share it with you all, so that all of you in your individual areas or respective areas can take up the projects. What do you say, sir? हम तुरंत काम पे ही लग जाएंगे, sir. अब बच्चे इतने काबिल हैं और काफी कुछ सुन चुके हैं अभी. So we'll, in our next session, we will come out with some 5-6 projects. I am ready to share with you all. I am here, in fact, trying to do some things, And maybe sir also, the way he spoke about various scholarships and internships, and my God, these are spellbound, and good pay actually. 20 to almost 50,000 rupees is not a small amount. And later I would tell entrepreneurship in social sector. This is the best word I can say. Entrepreneurship, we always, entrepreneurship is not bad. It need not be huge profit. It should be a balanced profit. Okay. Of course. And we'll train. Correct, no, sir.
What I will be doing is, we will be sharing it to you, and we will be discussing it on later stages, how we are actually taking it out.
Yes, sir.
But of course, yes, students, one thing is there, we need to strategize, we need to make a functional plan, how to use our, of course, strength, that is, whatever we have been into this MSW and whatever we have been into the communication development exercises, that is the education qualification, how we can use it as an entrepreneur. How we can actually strategize this to become a social enterprise or to become a social entrepreneur, so that we can actually create a win and win situation. Thanks for Advocate Ramaraoji for actually inviting our invitation and guiding our students. Of course, we will be doing this thing, and even me too, and my organization is also planning for one of the fellowship program. Let us see. This is an, of course, future program, but of course we are planning for that. Students,
yes, sir.
Of course, this is one subset where you can work in. I request all to switch on your video so that we can actually end up the day, and with our of course talk is going to be end. So request all to switch on your videos. Secondly, this is way where you all guys, either Nikita or Darsana or Sindhuri or Rithi, you all guys can actually work in. You all guys can think for कि MSW क्या क्या कर सकता है, क्या क्या चीजें हम लोग कैसे क्रिएशन कर सकते हैं. जैसा कि एडवोकेट रामाराव जी ने बताया कि वी आर सिटिंग एट अ सिचुएशन जहाँ पे हम बैलेंस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. गवर्नमेंट के लिए बैलेंस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, कॉर्पोरेट के लिए बैलेंस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, लोगों के लिए बैलेंस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. तो ट्राई टू थिंक फॉर दोस एरियाज वेयर यू कैन एक्चुअली वर्क इन. व्हाट इज योर स्ट्रेंथ एरिया, कहाँ पे काम कर सकते हो, किस तरीके से काम कर सकते हो. Really, आपके लोकल में क्या तकलीफ है? What all those problem areas? Write it out. Write down those problem areas. What all those options and solutions with you? And उसको फिर हम लोग disseminate करके, हम discuss करके, फिर उसको हम foresee भी कर सकते हैं कि हाँ इसको कैसे किया जाए. And that is how the MSW students should work in. They should think for कि problem areas को कैसे address करना है. Still, 4 of the guys have only switched on the videos, huh? किसी का कोई सवाल? Anyone is having any doubt or any questions? किसी का भी कोई सवाल नहीं? तो थैंक्स कि आई एम ट्राइंग एक्चुअली माई लेवल की आप लोग को किस तरीके से आपकी जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, जो आप लोग के डाउट्स आते हैं वो क्लियर हो सके, ठीक है। इसके अलावा भी जो भी किसी के कोई डाउट आते हैं इन रिगार्ड टू एमएसडब्ल्यू, इन रिगार्ड टू कम्युनिकेशन डेवलपमेंट और प्रोजेक्ट प्लानिंग, प्रोजेक्ट सबमिशन, यू कैन वेरी वेल एक्चुअली राइट इट ऑन अवर ग्रुप आल्सो, सो दैट मैं वहां पे एड्रेस भी कर सकूं, ठीक है। और अपना असाइनमेंट आप लोग का अभी भी कुछ लोगों का नहीं हुआ है। वन मोर थिंग, अब आप लोग कैडर के लिए सोच रहे हैं, सभी लोग को मैं एक असाइनमेंट दे रहा हूँ जो कि बहुत सिंपल है, सोशल मीडिया पे ही जाके करना है। लिंक्डइन पे सभी लोग को, सारे बच्चों को लिंक्डइन पे अपना अकाउंट क्रिएट करना है। अगर अकाउंट क्रिएट किया हुआ है तो एक छोटी सी एक्सरसाइज दूंगा, उसमें टैग करना है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, ठीक है। इससे मुझे पता लग जाएगा कि आप सबके पास लिंक्डइन का अकाउंट है कि नहीं है, क्योंकि ये आज आज तो मैं आपसे लिंक्डइन का अकाउंट क्रिएट करा रहा हूँ, लेकिन कल वो आपके कैरियर के लिए बहुत काम आएगा, ठीक है। सो आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल टू क्रिएट योर लिंक्डइन अकाउंट, tag our organization, tag our internship or the class which we are doing actually on a regular basis, and that is how you are actually creating your presence to all the professionals or in the area where all the organizations and professionals are looking forward for you. ठीक है, rest, take care, happy new year to you all, enjoy your days and enjoy your weekends, enjoy your holidays. लेकिन क्या बोलते हैं, धीरे धीरे you need to work on for your projects too. और जो फाइनल असाइनमेंट है उसके लिए आप रिसर्च करना शुरू कर दीजिए, सो दैट बुक्स के लिए हम आर्टिकल्स भी राइट अप कर सके। एटलीस्ट हर बच्चे का जो आर्टिकल होगा 8 to 10 पेजेस का होगा, सो यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन हार्ड टू प्रिपेयर अ रिसर्च। Rest, thanks to all. I am just quitting for the day, taking one more snap. Okay, thanks, bacha. Goodbye to you all and take care. Enjoy.